First, here discuss how and why the NBER made that determination. Joining us now, President of the National Bureau of Economic Research, Martin Feldstein. He is also an economics professor at Harvard University. Dr. Feldstein, basically, that determination is that we're not really sure about the timing of the recession and where we stand right now. So why, again, can't the committee make that determination?
Well, there are two separate issues. One is, can we determine the precise date when the economy started to turn up? Because after all, that's what the NBR Business Cycle Dating Committee is all about. It is traditionally true that by the time we announce that the economy is in recession, everybody knows it. It took us 12 months after December of '07 to make a formal announcement, and similarly in the upturn. So it's not whether we're in or not a recovery so much as exactly when the upturn began. But this time it's also complicated by the fact that we're still far below the levels that the economy was at before it turned down, and that there's in my judgment, a continuing risk that this economy could run out of steam and that we could see it sliding down again before this year is out. Let me interrupt, because I do apologize for that interruption, but in January you told us you were worried about a double dip. So is that what you are concerned about here, a double dip, in your last description? That is exactly right. I think there remains a risk. I think the risk is lower than it was a month or so ago. We've had some good positive numbers, but I think the risk of the double dip remains.
All of the indicators NBER uses, except for employment, are showing real good improvement, in fact, deep Vs. So is employment really the key, the remaining key at this point?
In my judgment, the real problem is that we're not sure that once the government stimulus package is removed, we've just ended the housing stimulus. The Fed has just stopped buying mortgages. The expansion of the so-called stimulus package has just ended. It's now just running along at the same rate month after month. So is there going to be enough momentum in the private sector to keep this thing going? Or without the government push, is it going to slide back down? And I think
do you want to see an additional government push?
No, I certainly do not. I certainly think that if there were another large fiscal package that would so disturb sentiment, that would so disturb confidence, that it could have just the opposite effect. It could backfire and cause the economy to weaken. So I think we have to wait and see whether this economy is going to be able to come out of this based on the spending by households and businesses.
Now, Committee Chairman Robert Hall told us last week he thinks it's pretty clear the recession is over. Committee member Jeff Frankel said basically the same thing on his blog. So I'm curious if there's dissension in this committee.
You know, I think the point is, if the economy keeps expanding, then it's going to be a technical question of deciding exactly what month we want to say was the trough, was the bottom. But I think the odds are that it is going to keep expanding. But there's no reason for us to jump the gun and try to pin down a particular month at this point.
Martin Feldstein, NBER President, Emeritus Harvard Economics Professor as well. Many thanks for your time and your insights.